All right, today I'm at Brewyard Beer Co. doing a batch with the head brewer, Sherwin, and we're doing on his pilot system, which is right behind me, and we're doing a hoppy pale ale. I guess wouldn't call it quite an IPA. It's about 40 IBUs. Simple grist. It's a malt I can't remember the name of. I'll throw it down here, but it's a 2-row base grain and Ekuanot hops, and we're doing all steeping whirlpool and dry hopping with it. No bittering addition. Ekuanot was Equinox at one point, then it got renamed to Ekuanot, and so we're trying it. We're also trying a lupulin powder of it. So this is a higher concentration. On the last brew day I used it for with Citra, and he wanted to do this collaboration with me and try it for his brewery. So we're very excited. Brew day's already going, but let's start from the beginning.
I'm gonna be mashing in with 9.5 gallons.
I said at 24 pounds.
9.5 gallons.
All right, gallons. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that gives me about 1.5 quarts to pounds of grain ratio.
This is carbon filtered, but not treated with any.
No, not yet. We'll just add. So since we need 9.5 in the mash, I'm gonna go maybe around 11 gallons, and I'm gonna use the extra water to just run it through the hose and pumps.
Okay.
Just to kind of clean it out a little bit. This is a setup for the mash tun, where we have that screen.
So this is your homebrew rig, right?
Yeah, it was.
But you added some bells and whistles to it.
Right, the trichlor fittings. And,
yeah.
And I had to convert propane to natural gas. We have natural gas like on tap pretty much here. So
right. These burners were not in there before originally, or they were?
Yeah, I had I think it's 24 jets.
Okay.
And I dialed it like halfway, so I kind of plugged it with those bolts.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was a little too intense.
Yeah. And those are the pumps.
Yeah. So two pumps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All liquor. Yeah.
Yeah. Just mash
and boil.
And then boil.
Yeah. So we're going from here
into the pump.
To the pump.
And then out of the pump into
here. To the mash. You're going from bottom here,
right,
out here, through the pump, out, back, and recirculating.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Now we're mashing around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. We rose it up to about 154, but we're gonna let it open up here, keep it open so it'll probably stabilize, equalize out. Yeah. So when we add it, and how much salt did you add? What did you add to this?
I added 5 grams of gypsum
and
4 grams of calcium chloride.
Okay.
And 2 milliliters of phosphoric acid.
Awesome.
To bring the pH to, what was it?
It was 5.3. It was 5.3, yeah.
Which is where we want it.
Yeah. Rock and rolling.
Our mill station. And then it's right above our grist case where we store it. We usually mill the day before, and we're ready to go the next morning. And we go ahead and auger it up.
There's the line there.
White tube right there. And here's a look into our mash tun. I don't know if it can be a little dark, but we have our rakes in there, and the grains drop in through a grist hydrator. So as it's going in, it's being hydrated with our hot water and into the mash tun. We actually, in this system, will mash for like 30 minutes rather than an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quick. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we're also we're vorloffing it too for another 20 minutes. So in the end, it ends up being 1 hour.
Got it. Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay.
But I mean, we've seen it where after 30 minutes, it's already converted.
Right. Okay.
And everything, like in this setup at least. The way we boil off is it drains to the back there. You see that sight glass?
Yes.
And that valve, and we could actually throttle, you know, how it kind of flows through, and it goes into the boil kettle. And then what we do, we actually drain the boil kettle to the pump and back into the mash.
Cool. Okay.
So that's kind of how we boil off that way. Once that occurs, then we'll go ahead and close the boil kettle drain and just let it flow in.
Got it.
And at that point, then we take the hot water that we have here, that's usually around 170, and we'll pump it up to the mash, and then we could actually start the sparge through the nozzles.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's efficient. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it has that sprinkler type of sparge setup.
Yeah.
Up there. Usually our half batches will be around maybe like 14. If we're doing a full batch, we're going like 20, 22.
Okay.
Yeah, so usually our sparges last for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is kind of the norm.
Yeah. Okay, then you boil here.
Boil here.
Yeah. Cool.
Whenever we use Pilsner malt, we usually boil it around an hour and a half.
Okay.
Just to drive off like DMS.
Totally. Yeah.
But otherwise, we'll just do 60-minute boils.
Okay.
This is direct fired, so it's natural.
Oh, it's direct fire. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's direct fire. Okay. So actually, the actual bottom of the kettle is like right here.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So all this is a firebox. There's kind of a jet burner in there, and it just heats this chamber right here, and then it in turn heats the bottom of the kettle.
Cool.
Little more even, I guess you could say, yeah. But anything bigger in terms of batch size, we would have to go with like a steam kettle.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
just
get
for
makes
efficiency
sense.
and everything
Yeah, I don't see too many fire.
Yeah, I mean, 15 barrel setup like this is probably the most you'd want to go for a direct fire setup.
Yeah. Okay. So. And then you have is this
our heat exchanger?
Heat exchanger right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you're done boiling, it then goes.
We'll run it through the heat
there.
exchanger.
Okay.
And then usually we'll use one of our fermenters as a cold liquor tank.
Okay.
And we'll drain it off the fermenter, pump it into the heat exchanger, with maybe 35-degree water.
Okay.
So we're knocking down 212 we usually kind of knock out at 60 degrees depending on the beer. Okay. And for a full batch, it takes about 45 to an hour.
Okay. So, Emery, I did say this earlier. You have cold water right at the ready.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of these, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if we have an open fermenter, we'll use it as a cold liquor tank.
Got it.
We'll fill it up, and then we'll crash it down to 35 degrees, as cold as we can. Okay. And then we'll run it through the heat exchanger to get the best heat transfer. Got it. Once it goes through the heat exchanger, it comes out of this valve here, and it goes to empty fermenter. Okay. Yeah, that has been obviously cleaned and sanitized.
Okay. And these are 15s also, correct?
Yeah. Okay. They can fit about like 18 barrels safely. Okay. Yeah, so we can kind of push it because there's still about 25% headspace.
Right. Okay.
With our lager yeast, primary is technically like maybe 5 days. Well, this is 1 week, and it's still kind of bubbling away.
What's this one here? What's going on here?
This one is our Sunday morning.
Okay. Which is what, again?
This is our blonde common lager.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is kind of still farting away. Cool. And then actually in this tank right now, this is our smoking red, and we're actually running a carbstone, and we're carbing this one at this point.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. Good. Yeah. And so how would a carbstone work? How's that work in a system?
Well, we have pure CO2, and then the carbstone is, obviously it's very porous metal. It has little tiny holes in it, and kind of disperses the CO2 into solution. Okay. And obviously the tank needs to be crashed. Right now it's like at 40-ish. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Colder the better. Right. But for a full batch, it probably takes about a day to fully carb at like 2.6 volumes of CO2. Okay. Yeah. And you adjust CO2 the volumes per style? Yeah, for the most part. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like to target 2.6, 2.7 for most of our beers. Okay. Yeah, you kind of want to go a little over. Right. Because you kind of lose some carbonation through transfer, through kegging, bottling,
Okay.
things of that sort. You kind of want to go a little over,
Okay.
and then you end up with the right amount in the end.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so
we after it's done carboning, we'll keg it out, and then store it in our cold room, about 200 square foot cold room. And then here is our Ekuanot cryo hops. We have 10 taps up front. We have our Sunday morning, which is our blonde common lager, and we have our Hefu, which is our hoppy Hefeweizen. Sunday Joe is our nice coffee beer, with our Sunday morning being the base of that with Yirgacheffe coffee. So it's a light beer with coffee, really nice. Juicy Lies, our IPA. Then we have our Right Here, which was our Oktoberfest beer that we released last Saturday for our Oktoberfest event. That was really killer. We have Ready to Mingle, which is our Belgian single with calamansi fruit, which is a Filipino citrus. Has a nice kind of lime character to it. This is our Tropico, which is our Saison with passion fruit at 6.9. Then we have our Love Affair wit beer, brewed with tangerines as well. And then we have our Bubbly Crude, which is our Black Sunrise, which is our black common lager, aged in bourbon barrels for a little over 6 months. That came out really nice. We also released that for our Oktoberfest event. And we have our Jewel City, which is our California common.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We're going from the mash into this pump and then into the boil kettle.
All right, that's it on our brew day here. We got pretty good, really good efficiency, 1057.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for the tasting on this. I'll probably film it. What do you think, about 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, I would say so.
About 3 weeks from now. We're still very excited about this. We did taste the wort, and it tastes amazing. It smells amazing. So Sherwin, thank you for having me out.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Thanks for coming out, and it was fun, definitely.
Yeah, it was awesome. So stay tuned for more videos and get out there and start a brewery.